With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Looks like a lot of you are trying to figure out what's up with President's Day today, February 17th. You've got a ton of questions about what's open and what's closed, and I get it. Holidays can really mess with your plan.
For sure.
So to help us get to the bottom of all of this, we've got our expert here.
Absolutely.
Who knows this stuff like the back of their hand.
It's a fascinating topic, and there really is a lot more to President's Day than meets the eye.
I love that about these deep dives.
Yeah.
There's always something new to discover.
You got it.
So first things first,
Okay.
Let's clear up any confusion.
What
Is today, February 17th, 2025, actually President's Day?
Yes, you are absolutely right. It is President's Day, a federal holiday here in the U.S., but it is interesting how many different names and dates get tossed around for this holiday.
That's true. I saw President's Day, and even Washington's birthday in the questions.
Right.
It's like everyone's playing a holiday name game.
Well, there's a historical reason for that.
Okay.
You see, it all started with celebrating George Washington's birthday on February 22nd. But as time went on, the holiday evolved to honor all presidents, not just Washington.
So that's why we see these different names?
Exactly.
It's like the holiday itself went through some kind of identity crisis?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a great example of how holidays can reflect changing cultural values. In this case, the shift from honoring just one president to recognizing all of them speaks volumes about how we view leadership and history.
That's such an interesting point.
Yeah.
Okay, so practically speaking, what does this mean for you today?
Right.
I know you've got a lot of questions about what's open and what's closed.
Well, since it is a federal holiday, you can expect all government offices, like the post office, to be closed.
Okay.
Banks and the stock market will also be closed.
So anything government related is definitely off the table.
Pretty much.
What about other places?
Costco is also closed on President's Day, which might surprise some people.
Yeah, that is good to know.
Yeah.
Especially if a Costco run was on your to-do list.
Right.
Now, I know you were asking about private businesses like UPS and FedEx.
Right. Those are good examples of services that often operate on a modified schedule for President's Day. They might have limited hours or delivery delays, so it's always best to check their websites or contact them directly to be sure.
So it's not a complete shutdown.
Right.
But definitely worth double-checking if you're relying on those services today.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got government offices closed, Costco's closed, and maybe some private businesses running on modified schedules.
Exactly.
Now, you also had a lot of questions about schools.
Right.
It seems like you're really trying to get a handle on the school situation.
Well, and I understand like planning around school holidays could be tricky.
For sure.
It is quite common for schools to observe President's Day.
Okay.
But it's not a universal rule.
Got it.
Some school districts might have classes as usual or maybe a professional development day for teachers.
So checking your local school calendar is key.
Yeah, you really got to stay on your toes with President's Day.
It really does keep you on your toes.
Yeah, and that variability actually ties back to the historical evolution we talked about earlier.
Oh, interesting.
The fact that it's not as uniformly observed as, say, New Year's Day might reflect that broader scope of honoring all presidents rather than one specific event.
Huh. So the ambiguity around what's open and closed isn't just random. It's actually woven into the history of the holiday itself.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
Why is it that way? What does it say about how we as a country choose to commemorate our leaders?
Okay, now you're really making me think. I'm
Yeah.
definitely curious to hear more about this.
Well, before we get into the why, let's talk about something else you were curious about.
Okay.
You asked if President's Day is always on February 17th. And the answer is not quite. It gets a little tricky.
Okay.
Originally, President's Day was celebrated on February 22nd, George Washington's actual birthday.
Right.
But in 1968, the Uniform Monday Holiday Act came into play.
Ah, that rings a bell.
Yeah.
Didn't that act shift a bunch of holidays to Mondays? To
Exactly.
give people longer weekends?
Exactly. The idea was to create longer weekends for federal workers, boosting leisure and travel.
Okay.
So now President's Day is observed on the third Monday of February, which happens to be February 17th this year.
So it's not always tied to Washington's actual birthday, but it does keep the celebration within the same month.
Right. And this is where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
While federally it's President's Day, some states still officially call it Washington's birthday on their calendars.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, holding on to that direct connection to the first president.
Yeah.
It just shows how different states interpret and celebrate the same holiday.
It really does. And it speaks to another point of curiosity you had.
Okay.
Whether President's Day is truly about all presidents,
Right.
or if it's more of a Washington-centric celebration in disguise.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a bit of a historical tug of war going on there.
There definitely is. In
Yeah.
fact, there's a whole other layer to this.
Okay.
Originally, there was a push to create a holiday honoring Abraham Lincoln,
Oh, wow.
who was born on February 12th.
So President's Day could have been Lincoln Day.
It could have been.
That's a wild thought.
It is.
An alternate timeline?
Right.
That's so interesting.
But the idea of a single holiday for all presidents ultimately gained more traction, leading to what we have today.
So it's like a historical mashup.
Yeah.
Combining the Washington's birthday tradition with the desire to recognize all presidents, including Lincoln.
Yeah.
No wonder there's some confusion and variation in how it's celebrated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It reflects the complexity of our history and how we choose to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you had some really insightful questions about the meaning of President's Day
Yes.
beyond just the dates and open-close stuff.
Yeah, knowing whether I can go to Costco is one thing,
Right.
but understanding the deeper significance of the holiday is another.
Exactly. So let's shift gears and delve into that.
Okay.
Why do we celebrate President's Day?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
It is.
What's the bigger picture here?
At its heart, President's Day is a day to reflect on the presidency itself,
Okay.
the institution,
Mm-hmm.
its evolution,
Okay.
the individuals who have held that office,
Uh-huh.
and their impact on our nation.
So it's not just about individual presidents.
Yeah.
It's about the office as a whole and
Exactly.
its place in our history and democracy.
Precisely. It's a chance to contemplate the legacy of American leadership,
Mm-hmm.
both the triumphs and the challenges.
That makes sense. And it goes beyond just celebrating specific presidents.
Yeah.
It's about grappling with the complexities of leadership
Yeah.
and the impact it has on all of us.
Exactly. And it invites us to think critically about what qualities we value in our leaders
Mm-hmm.
and how those values have shaped our nation's course.
Mm-hmm.
You had some very specific questions about this,
Yes.
about how we reconcile celebrating all presidents,
Yeah.
even those who might be considered controversial
Right.
or whose actions we might not fully agree with today.
Yeah, that's something I've always wondered about.
Yeah.
Is it about honoring the person or the office they held?
That's a really thought-provoking question.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer.
Right.
President's Day, by its very nature, brings those kinds of dilemmas to the forefront.
It's like a built-in opportunity for reflection and debate,
Yeah,
which I guess is a good thing.
it is.
It forces us to confront our history and wrestle with these complexities.
Exactly. And that brings us to another point you raised,
Okay.
the idea of inclusivity and representation on President's Day.
Mm-hmm.
You were curious about how the holiday acknowledges the contributions of all Americans,
Yes.
not just those who have held the highest office.
Right, because the presidency doesn't exist in a vacuum.
It doesn't.
It's shaped by the people,
Mm-hmm.
the movements, the social forces that influence our nation.
And that's where the holiday has room to grow and evolve even further.
Okay, I'm really interested to hear where you're going with this. So how do we make President's Day more inclusive?
Right.
It's a day meant to honor the presidency.
Yeah.
But does it really reflect the full spectrum of American experiences?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
Mhm.
How do we move beyond just a narrow focus on individual presidents
Right.
and embrace a more holistic view of American leadership?
Okay.
One way is to kind of broaden the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just recounting the achievements of presidents,
Mm-hmm.
we can also acknowledge the social movements,
Right.
the everyday citizens,
Yeah.
the activists,
Mhm.
the artists,
Uh-huh.
all of whom have shaped the course of our nation.
It's like recognizing the supporting cast
Yeah.
in the grand play of American history.
Exactly.
We tend to just focus on the lead role of the president,
Right.
but there are so many other players that contribute to the story.
Precisely. Think about the civil rights movement,
Mm-hmm.
the women's suffrage movement,
Okay.
the labor movement.
Uh-huh.
These were driven by ordinary people who fought for change,
Right.
who challenged the status quo,
Well, yeah.
and who in many ways held presidents accountable.
That's true.
Their stories deserve to be woven into the fabric of President's Day as well.
That's a really powerful way to reframe the holiday.
Yeah.
It makes it less about individual figures
Right.
and more about the ongoing struggle
Right?
for a more just and equitable society.
Exactly. And that brings us to something you mentioned earlier,
Oh, okay.
the idea of grappling with the complexities of presidential legacies.
Yeah.
President's Day shouldn't be about glossing over the difficult parts of our history.
Right.
It's an opportunity to have honest conversations
Uh-huh.
about the mistakes, the injustices,
Mm-hmm.
the shortcomings of those who have held the highest office.
It's like acknowledging the full humanity of these figures.
Exactly.
Warts and all.
Right.
They were flawed individuals, just like all of us.
Yep.
And recognizing that makes their stories more relatable, more real.
Exactly. And it allows us to have more nuanced conversations about the impact of their decisions, both positive and negative. We can learn from their successes and their failures and use those lessons to inform our own understanding of leadership and citizenship.
It's like President's Day can be a springboard for critical thinking and dialogue about who we are as a nation and where we want to go.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's not about blindly celebrating the past, but about using it to illuminate the present and shape the future.
Wow, this deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening.
It really is.
I feel like I have a whole new perspective on President's Day now. It's not just about sales and barbecues. It's about engaging with our history, grappling with its complexities, and using those reflections to build a better future.
And that's ultimately what makes this holiday so relevant, even in 2025. It's a reminder that the story of America is still being written, and we all have a role to play in shaping its next chapter.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today.
Of course.
You've given us a lot to think about.
I hope so.
And to everyone listening out there, thank you for listening and asking such insightful questions.
Great questions.
So as we all go about our President's Day, whether you're enjoying a day off or maybe even heading into work, take a moment to consider what this holiday means to you.
Good idea.
Whose stories are being told, whose voices are missing, and how can we make President's Day a more inclusive and meaningful celebration for everyone? Keep those questions in mind, and until next time, keep diving deep.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.